GS paper 3, the environment section, which is about India's power sector transition towards 2070 of renewable energy electricity generation. So does that mean that India is generating more than 50% of its electricity from renewable energy? This is a key question that comes in most of our minds and confuses us. So let us clear this confusion. Hello and welcome back to Prep Alpine, the next generation UPSC institution. We are continuing with our high yield UPSC series where we discuss some of the maximum probability topics that are very important for your upcoming prelims and mains exam. These topics will help you get an edge over the other aspirants and over general aspirants and also solve your fear of current affairs that exist just before the examination. So what you need to do is just go through these videos before your exam and your current affairs are completely sorted. Apart from this, we also provide these high quality, well researched PDFs of daily current affairs and monthly current affairs, which can be downloaded completely for free from our Telegram channel, the link to which is in the description below. So let's start with today's video, which is a very important topic from GS paper 3, the environment section, which is about India's power sector transition towards 2070. So you must know that India has achieved a 50% capacity, more than 50% capacity of renewable energy electricity generation. So does that mean that India is generating more than 50% of its electricity from renewable energy? This is a key question that comes in most of our minds and confuses us. So let us clear this confusion. So we all know that India has set up a target of achieving net zero by 2070 and also a target of becoming a Viksit Bharat by 2047, that is 100 years after our independence. But to meet these targets, one of the key sectors towards this is the electricity sector or the power sector, of which three important components are there: the solar and the renewable energy, of which solar, wind and various other powers are there, the coal based electricity generation, and as well as the nuclear based electricity generation, which becomes extremely important in the light of Shanti Act or the Shanti bill that has been passed recently. So first let us understand the present structure of India's power sector. So the installed capacity currently is about above 500 gigawatts, of which the capacity, if we talk about installed capacity, then nearly half of it is from the renewable sources, that is solar, wind, hydro, etc. Less than half of it is from the fossil fuels, and a small share is constituted by the nuclear power. But installed capacity does not mean actual generation. So consider installed capacity is the amount of power that you have, the amount of capacity that you have to study, and the actual generation as the actual amount of study that you do. So I have the capability of studying 12 hours a day, but I study only 4 hours a day. So my productivity will be determined by only from 4 hours and not what is my actual capacity. So that is what it means. The capacity means maximum possible output if a plant runs continuously, and generation means the actual electricity produced over time. So what happens that solar energy cannot be run continuously because in the daytime only solar power is available. In rainy seasons, in gloomy weathers, solar power is not available. So the installed capacity is not equal as the generation capacity. For wind, you need to be in areas where the wind speed is very high, or you need to be in areas near to shore areas where the wind is available. On days where the wind speed is low, the wind cannot generate electricity. But these problems do not exist with coal. Coal power plants generate electricity day and night, and these problems are also not associated with nuclear power. But the problem is that currently India does not have that much technological capability, that much financial feasibility to generate power from nuclear sources. And in that background only, the recent Shanti Act has been enacted. So now we have understood that why the coal continues to dominate, because it can operate for a long time and the intermittency of renewable energy is also very high, and for coal no such thing exists. Apart from this, there are grid and transmission constraints also. Transmission infrastructure is still expanding and renewable energy gets limited due to limited transmission capacity. Apart from this, the thermal power plants that provide grid stability and system inertia, the renewables alone cannot yet fully supply to the thermal power plants. So, for these reasons, coal continues to dominate our power sector. But if we talk of long term projections, then the current policies that we are following, whether it is related to solar energy or wind energy or anything, these have the capacity that by 2070, more than four-fifths of our power generation will be done from renewable energy. But when it comes to coal, it will not be completely disappeared, or it will not completely disappear, but it will remain for a very significant, for a very small amount. Nuclear power will also expand considering the recent initiatives that the government has taken. But what if we accelerate the current policies? So, if we accelerate, then coal will decline to negligible levels, means next to zero. The renewable energy will dominate, the nuclear capacity will expand, and also there will be large scale solar systems. But now you will ask me that why is coal still dominating? We have understood that why is coal still dominating, but why can't we store nuclear energy? So what happens? Ki we store things, like we have to go for a function, then we store things. But why can't we store electricity? Why can't we store renewable energy that is generated in the day for the night time? That is because we do not have that capacity. The storage, the battery systems that we talk about require a lot of investment and a lot of technology and a lot of manpower. So we do not have that. Apart from this, the pumped storage power plants that use gravitational energy through water reservoirs, they also require a lot of technical manpower, a lot of financial resources, and currently India lacks that. That is why the challenges we are facing towards this transition. So, high capital cost, safety concerns, then there are technological and financial demands, there are land acquisition issues, especially for large solar power plants, hydropower plants, or wind power plants. Then there is a need for expansion of transmission networks. Then we know, and we have already discussed in one of our videos, that the discoms, that is the distribution companies, are in very poor financial condition, and also there are economic risks associated with regions that are dependent on coal, that you can't suddenly ask them to shift from coal to renewable energy, because a lot of livelihoods depend on coal based power. So, this transition from coal to renewable energy needs to be very smooth. But obviously, this needs to be done, and it has a lot of significance. It is very good for our climate. It will be very good for our energy security. It will have a massive economic transformatory impact on India, because solar energy will boost solar manufacturing, battery manufacturing, electric mobility, green hydrogen industries, employment, everything will be secured, and above all, it will enhance India's strategic autonomy, because expanding nuclear and renewable systems reduces our external vulnerabilities and enhances long term energy security. So, these things we need to do. We need to work on solar energy and wind energy and hydrogen energy. We need to work on the storage of these energies. We need to work on nuclear reactors, especially small modular reactors, to enhance our capability of nuclear energy. So, these are the way forwards that we need to follow. And of course, above all, we also need to enhance the financial viability of the discoms and ensure that the approach that we take towards energy transition by 2070 is a just transition approach and not a sudden approach. So currently we are witnessing that India's power sector is in a transformative phase, be it the electricity amendment rules or these solar and wind energy rules or the Shakti bill or the Shakti Act that has transformed the nuclear sector. All these are aimed towards the climate transition of India. But smooth implementation will only depend on the technological progress, financial capacity, as well as institutional reform. And without transforming our financial sector, we cannot aim to become a globalized or a developed nation by 2047 or become net zero by 2070. Therefore, the government must ensure that the challenges are met with proper solutions and our goal is achieved. And this will also develop in the achievement of our sustainable development goals. So that's it for this video. If you want more such content, please subscribe to the channel and keep watching Prep Alpine. Thank you.